In the vast theater of life, we are all actors on a stage whose scenarios and events we often do not choose. However, how we act, how we respond to these circumstances, is totally under our control. This is the essence of Stoic philosophy, a school of thought that offers us not only a set of philosophical principles, but an art of living. The philosophy of Stoicism, cultivated by the great thinkers of antiquity as Seneca, Epictetus, and Marcus Aurelius, is not a mere intellectual abstraction. It is a practical tool, a moral compass that guides us through the ups and downs of existence. How to control your destiny with Stoic wisdom. Let's embark together on this journey of self-knowledge and self-mastery, discovering the transforming power of this millenarian philosophy. At the heart of Stoicism lies the concept of dichotomy of control, a fundamental distinction that separates what we can control from what we cannot. Epictetus, in his manual, teaches us that some things are under our control, while others are not. This is the cornerstone of Stoic wisdom, recognizing the difference between the factors that are within our sphere of influence and those that are beyond it. Our actions, our responses, our judgments, these are the elements we can govern. However, external events, the actions of others, the circumstances in which we find ourselves, are not under our jurisdiction. Accepting this with serenity frees us from unnecessary suffering and allows us to focus our energy on what really matters. When we truly understand this dichotomy, we begin to free our mind from the chains of despair and frustration. We are no longer slaves to external events, but masters of our reactions. Marcus Aurelius, in his Thoughts to Yourself, reminds us, you have power over your mind, not over external events. Realize that, and you'll find strength. The practice of Stoicism is essentially the practice of virtue. For the Stoics, virtue is the only true good and the basis for a full and meaningful life. Seneca, in her letters to Lucilius, guides us that happy life is conquered through virtue, which is the most precious good. But what does it mean to live virtuously? For the Stoics, virtue is divided into four broad categories: wisdom, justice, courage, and temperance. Wisdom guides us to discern what is true and important. Justice guides us to treat others with equity and respect. Courage gives us the strength to face challenges and adversity firmly. Temperance teaches us to control our desires and passions while maintaining balance and moderation. Practicing virtue means striving for excellence in all our actions and decisions. It is living according to our rational nature and the universal principles of reason and morality. It is ultimately the key to controlling our destiny, as it allows us to live in harmony with the world and ourselves. The Stoics believe that most human suffering comes not from the events themselves, but from our perceptions and reactions to them. Destructive emotions, such as anger, fear, envy, are seen as a result of erroneous judgments and unrealistic expectations. Epictetus exhorts us to examine our thoughts and correct the errors in our reasoning. It is not the events that disturb us, but our opinion about them. By reevaluating our thoughts and expectations, we can cultivate a more serene and resilient mind. For Stoics, true freedom comes from self-control and self-discipline. Seneca suggests that most of the power of a virtuous mind lies in its ability to avoid being shaken by external events. We must learn to govern our passions and respond to challenges calmly and rationally. This does not mean suppressing or denying our emotions, but understanding and redirecting them in a constructive way. Marcus Aurelius, an emperor philosopher, offers a practical guidance. If you are disturbed by something external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it, and this you have the power to revoke at any time. This is the way to inner peace and control of destiny, to govern our own minds and thus to govern our lives. The notion of amor fati, the love of destiny, is central to Stoicism. This idea, deepened by Friedrich Nietzsche centuries later, invites us to fully embrace everything that happens in our lives, not only to endure, but to love our destiny. Stoics teach us to see each event, good or bad, as an opportunity for growth and learning. This radical acceptance of destiny is not passive resignation, but an active engagement with reality. It is to recognize that even in the face of adversity, we can find meaning and purpose. Seneca tells us that a man cannot be unhappy if he knows what he is and does not wish to be different. This acceptance frees us from the desire to change what is beyond our control and allows us to focus on what really matters: our actions, our choices, our response to life. Marcus Aurelius, in his work, reminds us, everything that happens as it should, and if you observe carefully, you will discover that it is so. Adopting this perspective helps us find peace and contentment, even amid challenges and uncertainties. Stoics encourage us to live in the present, to focus on the here and now. Often our mind is drawn to the past, lamenting what has already happened, or to the future, anxious for what is yet to come. But life happens in the present moment, and this is where we should focus our attention. Epictetus advises, do not seek events to happen as you wish, but want them to happen as they occur, and your life will flow smoothly. Living in the present allows us to fully accept reality and respond to it with clarity and purpose. The practice of presence also helps us to appreciate the small moments of life, to find joy and gratitude in simple things. Seneca reminds us that true happiness is enjoying the present, without anxious dependence on the future. This is the secret to a full and satisfying life. Self-reflection is a vital practice in Stoicism. Marcus Aurelius, in his Thoughts to Himself, encourages us to review our thoughts and actions daily. This process of introspection allows us to assess our progress, identify areas of improvement, and strengthen our commitment to virtue. Seneca, in her letters, describes the importance of reviewing the day at the end of each night. I examine my whole day and review what I did and what I said. I hide nothing from myself and omit nothing. This practice of reflection helps us maintain integrity and live up to our deepest values. By cultivating the habit of reflection, we become more aware of our thoughts and actions. We learn to recognize our mistakes and to correct them, to celebrate our victories and to build on them. This is the path to continued growth and mastery over our destiny. Stoic wisdom offers us a map to navigate the turbulent waters of life. We can't control all the circumstances we encounter, but we can control how we respond to them. We can choose to live according to the principles of virtue, cultivate presence in the present moment, and embrace our destiny with acceptance and courage. By following this path, we find true freedom and inner peace. We become masters of our destiny, not because we control all external events, but because we control ourselves. This is the true essence of Stoicism, a philosophy of life that enables us to face any challenge with strength and serenity. May we together walk this path of self-control and wisdom, and find in ourselves the power to shape our destiny with the greatness of the soul and the tranquility of the spirit. As Marcus Aurelius taught us, the happiness of your life depends on the quality of your thoughts. Let us cultivate thoughts of wisdom and virtue, and create a life worthy of living.